Welcome to Fearless and Focused, a podcast for women who refuse to shrink, settle, or play small. I'm Brooke Brolo.
And I'm Casey Cooper. Together, we're bringing you raw conversations, real strategies, and the behind-the-scenes truth building a business and a life you love.
We're here to talk manifesting, mindset, money, leadership, and all the messy metal that no one wants to say out loud.
So if you're ready to level up with more confidence, more clarity, and more community, you're in the right place.
Let's get fearless and focused. Okay, on today's episode, it is February, and we're talking all things self-love, being self-obsessed, and not just things like taking a bubble bath, getting a massage. I'm talking about like, how do you incorporate self-care and self-love into your busy schedule and what that looks like as far as like high achievers, right? Because we don't typically take care of ourselves like we should. So what are some other things outside of the norm that we can incorporate into our busy day and making sure we are taking care of us? Casey, I'm excited about today's topic. How are you today?
So good. I love this topic. It's the month of love, so we should be celebrating. And I'm glad that you touched on the point that like self-love isn't always bubble baths and all the things. It's so much deeper. And I think that as we get older, we just embrace that definition of that so much more. So excited to dive into this topic.
Yes. And we're going to talk about things like positive self talk, what it actually looks like, pouring into yourself, not FOMO, but JOMO. I'm so excited to talk about that. But let's start off with this. Why do you think high achieving women, like this is so hard for us to be able to do this and show our self care and self love?
Here's the thing. I think at the end of the day, high achieving women are, it's just natural for us to hold everyone up. So we're all day, every day is filled with holding others up. And that's what our days are felt like. So I think that a lot of times that gets just brushed aside, shoved under the rug, and we forget to stop and do it just because we are the leaders. We're pouring into others to make sure all the balls stay in the air and everything moves proficiently. And so I think that a lot of times we don't even realize it until we are on the floor, burnt out, exhausted, and been like, oh gosh, I haven't even done anything for myself this whole month. So I think it's not on purpose. It's just we're carrying so much and juggling so many things that it just gets overlooked.
Right. I say this all the time. Like from the moment that my feet hit the ground, I am I'm on a schedule, right? I'm doing things for my business. I'm doing things for my family. I'm doing things for my employees, for our businesses, for our community, for other women, my friends, like the list goes on and on. So if I don't schedule it in, it's not going to happen. The thing with scheduling, and I'm not talking about just scheduling in like your hair appointment and your nail appointment and your massage, but like scheduling in time and like making boundaries. So I really wanted to start with boundaries. This is a big one. And I feel like boundaries get a bad rep. They're like, you're trying to control XYZ. It's not about the control. It's really more of I am trying to protect my time, my peace. It's got nothing to do with you. As if I say yes to everything, then I have zero time for me. So talk to me about boundaries because I feel like they do get a bad rep and ways that we can incorporate them without feeling guilty about them.
Yeah, it's so true. And don't you often feel as women that if we are protecting boundaries, then we're being selfish and we don't want to get that rap that we're just into ourselves and we're being selfish. And that's just the way that we've been conditioned. And so I think it is really hard for women to break that mold and be like, no, and no being a complete answer, just saying no. And that's okay. That's a complete answer and kind of move on. But I think it's a lot to do with conditioning and figuring out that it's like by saying no, that's okay. And that's going to make me be better at what I'm doing, what I'm trying to accomplish, and being okay with that. But I struggle with that still today. It is hard to practice those boundaries and be okay with saying no, and I still feel guilty and I still question myself like, was that okay to do? So it's a back and forth struggle. It's a mind game daily. I don't know. Will we ever figure it out? I don't know. But I love that we're creating a space to at least talk about it.
You nailed it. And I think one of the biggest things that you can do, this is what's helped me. And I heard this on another podcast. I can't remember where I heard it, but I'm like, oh my gosh, that reframing it to, if you were telling me, think of someone that you love dearly and it's a good friend of yours. And if they were coming to you saying, I am tired, I am burnt out, I'm just doing things for everyone else, like, what would you tell them? You would tell them, "You need to say no to more. It is okay. You don't have to give your space and your time and your energy to every single person that asks for it." So, what would you tell them? Say that same thing back to yourself. And so every time I think about feeling guilty, because we do, we struggle, and I feel guilty about having a boundary or saying no or just making a hard line in the sand. I'm like, what would I tell my best friend? What would I tell my mom? What would I tell my sister? What would I tell, someone who asked for my advice on this? And give myself that same advice, because that is the best way I found to not have guilt around it.
So true. Practice what we preach, right? It's like exactly like what do I tell my daughter when she comes to me and I can tell she's frazzled because she's like in spin cycle from doing all day every day. It's what do I tell her and then practicing what I preach because that's how we model. That's how we model the behavior and show them what is best to start. I just wish I would have learned this earlier so I could have modeled that earlier for her. But here we are. We're trying to dive into it and tackle it. And I love this quote that we have in our notes. No one is coming to protect your energy. You're the only one that's going to do it. And I think that goes for a lot of things for women. Like, no one's coming to save us. No one's coming to pamper us. Like, we've got to put some stuff in place and boundaries to protect our energy. And that's what makes us better humans.
Yeah. Another thing you talked about, protecting your time and your energy, and giving yourself that space to do those self-care things. But appreciation and self-talk. Like, these are big because, like, to me, like, you are what you tell yourself that you are. So if you're telling yourself like, "Oh, I didn't get to that," or, "Oh, I should do this," or those things will get in your head. And so I think part of big self-care is
Mhm.
appreciating yourself, showing yourself grace, right? Because when things are good, it's easy to be like, "Yeah, I'm a total badass. I got it all together." But when it doesn't go your way, I think part of self-care is being able to, you did your best. What did you learn from this? And you have an opportunity because you have another breath in your lungs that you can try again today, tomorrow, and just giving yourself that grace, because we are our biggest critic. I know I'm my biggest critic, and I will get down on myself and I'm like, no, no, we're going to talk good to ourselves. Brooke deserves it. She's been working hard. So I think that's a big one that I really try to do and focus on. And do you have any habits around, positive self talk or anything, any research you do around that?
What I've been doing that I think is even more effective is the self talk isn't just in my head, like I'm saying it out loud.
Mm.
So even just reassuring yesterday, it's a beautiful day out and I have all these things so I can prep my week and be organized like I like to be, but it's a beautiful day. And so I'm trying to talk myself out of not going to enjoy it. And I finally had to just say out loud to myself, Casey, it's not going anywhere. It's going to be there when you get back and you're going to feel more recharged. A lot of my self talk, it's funny because Bill will be like, who are you talking to? It's like myself. I'm just talking to myself. I'm just reassuring myself that I'm okay. I totally got this. I like doing that self talk, but doing it out loud now, even if people think you're a little crazy.
Yeah, I love that you do that out loud. I do the same thing, and, like, things I want to remember and play back, I will use voice notes on my phone. And so I'll have, like, my AirPod in, and then I'll have that going, and I'll be saying things, and Jason will come in the room and like, "What was that? What did you say?" And I'm like, "I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to myself out loud." Yes, I'm recording it too, but it's a really good way to have that come back to you, right? In those times that you are feeling confident and that you need that confident other self, right? When you're not feeling your best, play back that message to yourself and that positive affirmation. I know that sounds cheesy as all get out, but that really works for me. So if you haven't tried it, try it.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
gonna think you're crazy. Bill's gonna think you're crazy, but it's fine.
Yeah, but
I married him.
they already know that, so
Yeah.
we'll embrace the role. You know what else I've been doing, which is the most simplest thing, but it works so much, is just taking a breath. Like, just taking a breath, and sometimes Bill will be, "Why are you sighing?" And it's, "I'm not sighing, I'm taking a breath to just let it out." Even driving here this morning, it's like getting all the things ready, get here, get the room reserved, setting it up, so it's oftentimes I had to be like take a breath. And just that simple little, just taking a breath and just like breathing everything out helps change your energy and your shift in your focus so much. It's worked wonders for me, especially on busy days where you're going from one thing to the next. Sometimes we forget. I remember I listened to this podcast one time and it was all about women, high achieving women that are like back to back. They were only breathing 10% out of the time, or using like 10% of the capacity that they were supposed to be breathing, or something weird like that. And it's so true. Like, how often do you forget going as, oh my gosh, have I even stopped to breathe today? Tremendously.
Yeah, I'll do that all the time. Like, I get in a zone. I get in a zone, and I like there's like a meme going around right now, or like an audio that's like, when I work, I don't eat. I don't go to the bathroom. I am like locked in. Same thing there. And I think it's totally fine. And that's part of being a high achiever, like being locked in. But even if you have to set an alarm on your phone that says, eat something, get up and go to the bathroom. Like, I will literally sit there. I'm like, nope, one more this, one more this, one more this, like 10 more times. So having a moment to breathe, just get up, walk around, stretch your body. That's self care too. Everybody thinks it's a big, over the top, extravagant stuff. No, it's like talking nice to yourself, taking a breath, right? Saying no some. These are very simple things that you can do. You don't have to have a big, extravagant plan. One of the other things I really wanted to touch on are like 5 love languages, and I wrote them down because I can't remember them. 5 love languages and turning them inward. So I touched on earlier, what would you tell your friend, your best friend, right? The same thing, like what makes you happy? So out of the 5 love languages, so I'm going to ask you these, Casey. So the 5 are words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, physical touch, and gifts. So what would you like, we expect others to, like, just give this to us and know it, like our husbands especially, but what do we give ourselves? Which one of these is going that you don't give yourself that you should or do more of?
That's a good spin because I thought you were going to say for others to give us, but you flipped it and give ourselves. Oh, words of affirmation. I do that all day, every day. So I'm huge on that already. Probably, probably some more quality time, just like I was saying yesterday. Like I had this list and I wanted to get through it to prep my week, but then I'm like, no, get out. It's not going anywhere. So probably quality time. How about you?
I knew you I was like, me and my ADHD brain, I'm like, I like all these things, and I think I don't know, because if maybe whatever I'm needing in that moment,
True.
make me feel good. I like all of these things, like, not there's not one that's, "I don't want that." I want quality time. I want words of affirmation. Sometimes I'm like, I have all that, but I feel like I need to buy a gift for myself too. There's a big 50th birthday coming up that I'm like, words of affirmation, or I don't need that. I need that Gucci purse that I've been eyeing for years, right? And that I feel like I deserve. So, yeah, it could be just whatever you're needing, whatever you're craving, whatever you're missing out on, give yourself that. Whatever you're not getting from your partner, because like they can't read your mind. And it's okay for you to give that self love to yourself. Why are you less important than anyone else? You should be the most important person.
Yeah. And I think for women, it's okay to express that also. Like we do think they're supposed to read our mind, and then we feel like selfish or something if we express, hey, I really need some like words of affirmation. Like I'm going through some heavy stuff, and ask or just expressing what we need. I don't think we communicate that enough as women. And so I think just practicing that once a week, expressing what is it that you really need, and then actually telling your partner that, or whoever is in your circle, even like a friend circle. So I think communication on that is huge too.
Yes. Okay. So this one is a big one. Okay. This is hard for me. Maybe not for you, but hard for me. I am a I've always had an issue with FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. I am a go-getter. I'm a yes man. I like to do all the things, be everywhere, all the places. And but I heard this somewhere else. I don't remember, but I'm glad I'm remembering all these so I can share it with you guys. But instead of FOMO, reframing it to JOMO, joy of missing out.
Oh, explain more.
Yes. So here's what I have written down. Stop trying to control everything and let life flow instead of forcing it. So if you're like, oh my God, I want to be there. I want to go. No, If you can't make it happen, if it's not easy, if it's not, just let it go. You're not aligned with that today. Saying no and having, instead of having the FOMO over it, now like something else that's more aligned is going to flow into your life. Choosing peace over pressure. Oh, I really want to go. There's a conference coming up right now. I really want to be at C8. Here's your plug. Ugh, I'm dying.
I knew you were going to talk about this. I knew that it, because I know how bad you're wanting to be there.
Yes. And I've had this whole debacle. And so I'm like, I can't be there. And I'm like, okay, you know what? No, I'm gonna miss out, but I know, like, my friends are gonna be there. I'm excited that, they're gonna come back and share with me. I'm excited that I'm gonna get to go next year, and then this has opened up space for things I need to really do for myself and the
Mhm.
self that I need. So, like, I'm like, "Okay, I can't be there, but I can still find joy, and my friends are getting to go. I'm gonna get notes, it's gonna be exciting, and I get to go next year." It's just not aligned right now. That one was a big one for sure.
That's so good. I love that it's like just flipping that script. And it is true because we already talked about this year is that by your schedule being a little bit more freer, like you were able to put some things in place that you had tried all last year to put into place. And speaking of Jenny, who's sitting here helping on the back end, right?
I'm waving at her over here.
Put that in place, which has been a game changer for you and will be make your year even more successful this year.
And maybe we touch on that. That wasn't on the agenda, but having boundaries and creating space, like sometimes it is difficult for it is all the time for me. And so I have someone who can help me, right? And you don't have to do it alone. Get an accountability partner. That's what Jenny is for me. Like she's helping me get things lined out. She's making sure my schedule has space and time for myself in it. When typically if I'm the one doing it, oh, let me set this up. Instead, I'm sending it over to her. Look at my schedule, set it up. She's protecting that time for me, whereas I would be like, "No, I can fit one more in. Let me back to back it." Like, now I haven't eaten or gone to the bathroom and it's 3 o'clock, and I'm wondering why I'm, like, hangry and an asshole to everyone by the time I get home.
That's another thing that we've been conditioned, especially high achieving women. Like, if we ask for help, then we're weak because we're not able to do it all. And there's something wrong with us if we're not able to do it all. And it's, oh my gosh, like we have to quit telling ourselves that and falling into that spin cycle because it is so toxic and it is so unhealthy to think that we have to be all and do all for everybody and everyone. And so, if anything else, like I hope this episode gives you a little bit of permission to quit putting yourself in that toxic cycle and break out of that a little bit.
Yes, 100%. The last one we're gonna touch on is talking about self-care for workaholics, because let's be honest, if you're a high performing, high achiever, like you're always on the go, you are a workaholic, work consumes you. So things that we could do. So habit stacking. Do you do this or do you know what this is? Because I didn't realize that I do it, but I didn't know what it was. I forgot I have a name for it.
Yeah, is it like planning and putting like good, healthy habits in place? I don't know. Tell me.
Yes, so habit stacking is like when you are like you want to get a podcast in, you want to a feel good message, you can habit stack with while you're getting ready, have your AirPods in, right? Get that good morning affirmation, your podcast, your positive energy, whatever it is while you're getting ready. So it's not something you're adding to your plate later, like now you've done it at the same time. Things like listening to music while you're walking, like, that is habits that's a feel good. Music, I love music. Music can, like, invoke so much emotion, right? So, doing things that kinda stack on each other and that will make you feel good. Those are the while you're doing other things. Listening to music while I'm walking or working out, that's gonna invoke an emotion. Listening to my podcast while I'm getting ready, while I'm cleaning the house, like having my earbuds in and dancing around, all of these things, these are all self-care. Like, who wants to vacuum? Not me. But if I'm vacuuming, dancing into like to my favorite jam, I'm a little happier about it.
Yeah, like you said, we didn't even know that we were doing it, but we are. That's my favorite thing is to clean and listen to a podcast or an audiobook.
So, in short, do what makes you happy and don't feel guilty about it.
Exactly. And break some of those patterns and those conditioning and give yourself permission to to say no and practice boundaries and be a little selfish. It's totally okay. Everybody's going to be fine. We assure you, everybody will be fine in your circle around you, and you'll be a better version of you.
I hope you guys got some great takeaways on being self obsessed and self love and showing yourself self care and just some outside of the box thinking there. Before we wrap, I have to give a special shout out because it's your birthday month and you're the birthday girl. So I wanted to say happy birthday to you. And then I've got a couple of questions for you. Okay. So you have been doing a lot. Like, you have been making some moves literally lately. Tell our listeners what you're up to.
Yeah, I feel like my pattern is every 5 years, I take another jump. And 2020 was a big year. I took a jump. I put some things in place. My whole goal was to be able to work remotely. And so this year, yeah, the first January ever in my lifetime that I am in sunny Arizona, and I've been able to get vitamin D every single day. It's been so amazing. So I've been hanging out in Lake Havasu and watching jet skiers and being at the beach. And we had this 50th birthday party celebration on Saturday of some friends. And so they invited us, and we were at the beach all day. It's like, how am I at the beach in January? And this is my life now. So yeah, I took another big leap and starting to transition and spent some more time in Arizona, and it's been so extremely healthy.
Yeah, while the rest of the United States was, like, frozen over and we can't get out of our homes, you're, like, sitting here posting things with Bill on jet skis and walking around with palm trees behind you giving peace signs. I'm like, "Girl, I'm so jealous." But I'm so happy for you. I know that's, like, an amazing move for you guys, and I couldn't be happier for you. So tell me one I wanna know what was one of your proudest moments this past year that you've had? Something that you accomplished. I know one right off the bat, but I want our listeners to know what's something that you're super proud of that happened last year?
I have a couple. Of course, first was launching the podcast because that was on my bucket list for my 50th birthday year. I wanted to launch a podcast. So that was definitely a highlight of being able to launch our podcast last February. And then definitely Summit. Summit was just to be able to pull that off and have agents flying from everywhere. And I think that the itinerary was on point, and I heard so much good feedback. So I worked on building that for it's been a good since 2019. So a good 6 years I'm trying to build that. So for it to all come together and be successful, it was a huge highlight for me last year.
I knew you were not gonna bring this up, and so I'm like, "She's not gonna say this. This should be the first thing." Not that those things are not amazing, but you wrote a freaking book. Do you remember that you wrote a book and all the other amazing things that you do?
One of the proudest highlights about writing my book is that I was able to spotlight my grandma. And because we're talking about my birthday, I was born on her birthday also. So we're both Valentine babies. We're exactly 40 years apart. And so I was able to highlight my grandma in that book. So to me, that was just really extra special. And I sent her a copy and she took a picture with it. And so that was like a huge highlight last year also. There were so many good things. Like it was such a good year. And what I contributed to is because my circle around me, the circle around me are true supporters and cheer me on and wish me well. And I just got a really good circle around me.
You do. You have an amazing circle and you've built an amazing community of women. I'm one of those women that is in that community. And I just know how being part of that and having other women who want to lift you up and be part of your success and clap for you and pick you up when you're having a bad day, like that makes all the difference in the world. And so, like, you have made a huge impact on my life with that. So, thank you. I love you, girl, and happy birthday. Okay, so wrapping up our self-care, what are you gonna do to treat yourself for your birthday? Do you have any special treats that you want for your birthday?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go to Vegas. First of all, I'm gonna run back to Wyoming, spend a day with my grandkids, to love my grandkids a little bit, and celebrate. We have two other February birthdays, so we're gonna have a little birthday party. And then I got this super fab outfit. So I'm going to go to Vegas so I can wear my outfit on my birthday.
I love it. I love it. I have to wear this outfit somewhere. We should just wear it in Vegas.
Exactly. It's on the way back. So I told Bill, I'm like, okay, we're going to detour and spend at least a couple days in Vegas so I can wear this outfit.
Thank you guys so much. I've loved talking and diving in all of these things on self-care and self-love and being self-obsessed and not feeling guilty about it. We hope that we've given you some really good information today that you can take and just make part of your life because you are as important as anyone else and you should absolutely put your needs and yourself first. Be kinder to yourself and thank you for listening. Stay fearless, everyone.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Fearless and Focus. If today's episode gave you an aha moment or a reason to smile, hit follow and share it with someone else who needs it.
We're building a fearless community and we're so glad you're part of it. Until next time, stay fearless and keep growing and keep going.